Our mind is open and has been from the first day. We never encourage anyone to take or not to take the vaccine. Obviously, we're not doctors. But we know lying when we narrative. We're not saying there's no benefit to the vaccine. There may well be profound benefits to the vaccine. Our mind is open and has been from the first day. We never encourage anyone to take or not to take the vaccine. Obviously, we're not doctors. But we know lying when we see it, and you just...
Tucker Carlson is probably never going to go on his show and say, you should not ever take the vaccine. That's specific. That could be quoted. That could be brought up in some sort of class action lawsuit. But clearly, he is not interested in you taking it. He's not encouraging you to do it. And the end result of watching lots of Fox is that people don't get vaccinated. You can look at all the polls. Look at the overlap there. So what does he do? Well, sometimes he encourages you to just ask questions. He goes months without ever saying what those are supposed to be. And he notably doesn't ask any of those questions. He doesn't bring on the head of the CDC and then ask for the stats that he says he wants. But he also sometimes provides outright misinformation to try to make his viewers more comfortable. Now, what would make them uncomfortable? Well, if they were hearing out there that the Delta variant was producing potentially another wave and that it was going to be a wave that hit the unvaccinated, well, if you're unvaccinated, that might make you uncomfortable. And Tucker Carlson can't have that. So last night on his show, some just demonstrable, not factual information. Here's what he had to say about that new narrative.
We're not saying there's no benefit to the vaccine. There may well be profound benefits to the vaccine. Our mind is open and has been from the first day. We never encourage anyone to take or not to take the vaccine. Obviously, we're not doctors. But we know lying when we see it, and you just saw it. To say again in unison, and they're all saying it, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated is simply untrue. That's a lie. There's a massive discrepancy between that political talking point, which is exactly what it is. Thank you, Rochelle Walensky. Thank you, President Biden. And what the data in a bunch of different countries are showing. Someone needs to explain that. Tell us the truth. People can handle it.
Western media. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you follow Western news?
Well, I do sometimes, but I really don't check that often.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you hear negative things about China from Western news,
Yeah.
what is your thought? What do you think that they're not understanding, or why is it that they're saying things that are so negative about China?
I think they are just stupid. Sorry for saying that. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I think it's because that they really do not understand about the Chinese. Let's say they don't really understand about China. They do not understand about the government and the people and also the culture. Which
Can you give me an example of one of these things which you think they don't understand this about China?
Okay, yeah,
An
sure.
example.
Sure. Well, they say that there is no democracy in China, which I totally disagree.
Okay.
Well, that depends on what democracy means. I mean, everybody might have a different definition of democracy.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the pandemic. Well, there are, well, I'll put it really short. Like, I know that in the Western countries, that they are giving the people right to go on a parade
Yes.
to be against the vaccination. I mean, there are people who are against the vaccination, and there are people who are against the measures.
Lockdown and things like
Yeah,
that.
lockdown, things like that. But really, if you think about it, it's a democracy which allows a small portion of people to spread the risk all around. So and we are doing quite differently in China. Our government and our people, they want to collaborate and they want to show their faith, and that's what we are doing.
Thanks for sticking with me so far. There's a real problem comparing the notions of democracy and, more important, the meaning of freedom or liberty when pairing China with the United States or the United Kingdom, more particularly in the United States. I'm fond of saying that the USA is a free country because you're free to be pretty much any kind of asshole you might want to be. Let me speak from personal experience if I may. I'm well into my 70s and I live on a high floor of a high-rise building. For the past year and a half I've had the choice of staying in my room or venturing out onto the elevator. Very often I've had to share the elevators with unmasked people, some in conversation, a couple of times sneezing. The same with returning to my room. So these folks have effectively imprisoned me. I would prefer a government that had mandated masks and social distancing, but we have the freedom in the USA to be any kind of asshole or lout we want to be. I'm happy to see the narrative shift. Better late than never. Let the unvaccinated stay in their fucking hovels. I don't give a shit.
You guys are asking me if I had masks, and I asked you if you guys had any, so we got you.
I think
some.
the guys,
Want them.
those guys, the guy you're talking to is over there.
You guys want to get free?
My time is gonna come. I have one already. I think he's over there.